Courts in Malaysia. Superior Courts. The superior courts in Malaysia are the Federal Court, the Court of Appeal, and the High Court. These courts have general jurisdiction over all civil and criminal matters. Subordinate Courts. The subordinate courts in Malaysia are the Session Courts and the Magistrates Court. These courts have limited jurisdiction over both civil and criminal matters. Sharia Courts. The Sharia courts are religious courts that have jurisdiction over matters of Islamic law such as marriage, divorce, and inheritance.
Superior courts are the highest courts in judicial system that have general jurisdiction over all civil and criminal matters, and their decisions are generally final. Superior courts are also responsible for hearing appeals from lower courts. In Malaysia, the superior courts are the Federal Court, the Court of Appeal, and the High Court. The Federal Court is the highest court in Malaysia and has the power to hear appeals from all lower courts. It is also the court of original jurisdiction for constitutional cases. The Court of Appeal is the second highest in Malaysia and has the power to hear appeals from the High Court. It is also the court of original jurisdiction for a certain type of cases, such as cases involving elections and national security. The High Court is the highest court in each state and has the power to hear both civil and criminal cases. It is also the court of original jurisdiction for certain type of cases, such as cases involving company law and family law. Superior courts are an important part of any judicial system. They play a vital role in ensuring that the law is applied fairly and consistently. Superior courts also play a role in developing the law and in protecting the rights of individuals. Superior courts are staffed by judges who are appointed by the government. Judges are typically required to be lawyers with many years of experience. Superior court judges are also required to be impartial and to uphold the law. Superior courts play an important role in any democracy. They help to ensure that the rule of law is upheld and the rights of individuals are protected.
Examples of case that might be heard in a superior court: murder trial, divorce case, business dispute, constitutional challenge to a law, an appeal from a lower court decision.
Subordinate court. Subordinate courts are courts that have limited jurisdiction. They typically hear less serious cases than superior courts, such as petty crimes and minor civil disputes. Subordinate courts are also responsible for hearing appeals from lower courts. In Malaysia, the subordinate court are the Session Court and the Magistrate Court. The Session Court has the power to hear criminal cases up to a certain monetary value. It also has the power to hear appeals from Magistrate Court. The Magistrate Court is the lowest court in Malaysia and has the power to hear both civil and criminal cases up to a certain monetary value. Subordinate courts are an important part of any judicial system. They provide a forum for the resolution of less serious disputes and for the enforcement of the law. Subordinate courts also play a role in developing the law and in protecting the rights of individuals. Subordinate courts also are staffed by magistrates who are appointed by the government. Magistrates are typically required to be lawyers with some years of experience. Subordinate court magistrates are also required to be impartial and to uphold the law. Subordinate courts play an important role in any democracy. They help to ensure that the rule of law is upheld and that the rights of individuals are protected. In addition to the Session Court and the Magistrate Court, There are also a number of specialized subordinate courts in Malaysia, such as the Juvenile Court and the Native Court. These courts have jurisdiction over specific types of cases. For example, the Juvenile Court has jurisdiction over cases involving juvenile. The Native Court has jurisdiction over cases involving indigenous people.
Example of cases that might be heard in a subordinate court: a petty theft case, a traffic violation case, a minor civil dispute, such as a landlord-tenant dispute, an appeal from a lower court decision.
In addition to the Session Court and the Magistrate Court, there are also a number of specialized subordinate courts in Malaysia, such as Juvenile Court and the Native Court. These courts have jurisdiction over specific type of cases. A juvenile court is a special court that handles cases involving minor people under the age of majority. Juvenile court has designed to be more rehabilitative than the adult criminal justice system, and then often focus on helping young people get back on track and avoid future criminal activity. Juvenile courts handle two main types of cases. First, delinquency cases. These cases involve minors who have been accused of committing a crime. Delinquency cases are similar to adult criminal cases, but there are some important differences. For example, juvenile defendants are typically not entitled to a jury trial, and the penalty of delinquency are generally less severe than the penalty for adult crime. Second, child welfare cases. These cases involve minors who are neglected, abused, or dependent on the state. Child welfare cases are focused on protecting the child and ensure that they have a safe and healthy home environment. Juvenile court proceedings are typically less formal than adult criminal proceedings. Juvenile defendants are entitled to legal representation, but they may also be able to represent themselves. Juvenile court judges have a wide range of discretion in deciding how to handle delinquency and child welfare cases. They may order juvenile defendants to complete probation, attend counseling, or serve time in a juvenile detention center. In some cases, juvenile defendants may be transferred to the adult criminal justice system. This is typically only done for serious crime, such as murder or rape. The Native Court has jurisdiction over cases involving indigenous people. Civil jurisdiction. Native courts have original jurisdiction in all civil matters involving native customary law, including: first, marriage, divorce and child custody; second, inheritance and succession; third, land disputes; fourth, contract and torts. Native courts also have appeal jurisdictions over civil cases decided by lower native courts. Criminal jurisdiction. Native courts have original jurisdiction in all criminal matters involving native customary law, including: first, offenses against the person, such as assault and battery; second, offenses against property, such as theft and damage to property; third, offenses against the peace, such as public nuisance and disorderly conduct. Native courts also have appeal jurisdiction over criminal cases decided by lower native court. It is important to note that native courts do not have jurisdiction over matters that are governed by federal law, such as the penal court and the criminal procedure court. Additionally, native courts do not have jurisdiction over matters involving non-natives unless the non-natives has agreed to submit to the jurisdiction of the native court.
Example of cases that would be heard in a native court. A dispute over the inheritance of a piece of native customary land. A divorce case involving a couple who are both subject to native customary law. A case of assault between two members of the same native community. A case of theft of a scared object from a native longhouse.
Subordinate courts play an important role in the Malaysian legal system. They provide a forum for the resolution of less serious disputes and for the enforcement of the law. Subordinate courts also play a role in developing the law and in protecting the rights of individuals.
Established by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong under Section 40 of the Administration of Islamic Law, the Federal Territory Shariah Court of Appeal is the highest court in the Federal Territory of Malaysia and has the power to hear appeals from all lower Shariah courts. The Federal Territory Shariah High Court is the second highest court in the Federal Territory of Malaysia and has the power to hear appeals from the Shariah subordinate court and to hear cases that are within its original jurisdiction. Meanwhile, the Federal Territory Shariah subordinate court is the lower Shariah court in the Federal Territory of Malaysia and has the power to hear cases that are within its original jurisdiction. The hierarchy of the Shariah court in the Federal Territory of Malaysia is as follows. Number 1, Federal Territory Shariah Court of Appeal. Number 2, Federal Territory Shariah High Court. And number 3, Federal Territory Shariah Subordinate Court. The Shariah courts are only open to Muslims. Non-Muslims cannot be tried in the Shariah courts.
Jurisdiction of Sharia court. Marriage and divorce. Inheritance. Child custody. Maintenance. Socket. Offenses against Islamic law.
That all from our group. Thank you.